Let's talk about this guy because it was only a matter of time, I think, before he got arrested. But what did you make of the charges? Explain to the audience what the charges basically say.
Will do. There are 8 charges. What did I think of them? I think that they were kind of basic, easy charges to make. Of course, everybody expected the wire fraud charge, and there are 4 varieties of wire fraud charged, both conspiracy and direct action by Sam alone. And that relates to basically lying to customers that he would take in their funds at FTX and hold those funds in safekeeping so that they could hold them there or trade their account should they wish to do so. Well, that's not what happened. Sam took that money and transferred it to this hedge fund, Alameda, which Sam owns 90% of. So he transferred it more or less to himself, and that Alameda acted as a piggy bank for him, essentially. And he withdrew money from Alameda periodically to fund all sorts of things, including but not limited to political contributions, which is also interestingly charged in the indictment, violation of campaign finance rules. Specifically, what they focus on is that Sam used proxies in order to give money to candidates. So instead of directly contributing exclusively himself or making corporate contributions, he used proxies. They're not named, but apparently someone is cooperating with the Southern District of New York and fed them that information that he had used other people, given them the money to in turn give to candidates. And then finally, there's the money laundering charge, which alleges that Sam facilitated transactions in or hiding of illicit proceeds of illegal activities. Now, we don't know what kind of activities those were. If it was, we're speculating, drugs, arms shipments, evasion of sanctions. These are the things that we wouldn't be shocked to see at an unregulated offshore crypto exchange.
Wow. I mean, that last one is a shocker because I hadn't heard anything about that, about him running some, blatantly criminal enterprise through which he laundered its money through FTX. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about what he may have been doing down there in the Bahamas at his, multi-property estate at the Albany Resort, which is very nice. He apparently owns some 17 apartments. I mean, insane amount of real estate.
Right.
And now we know where he was getting the dough.
Yes.
Do we know anything more about whether prosecutors believe this thing was a farce from the get-go or whether it just started to fall apart when crypto started to hit hard times?
Well, we know more today than we did yesterday, that's for sure. So the SEC complaint says that it started from the very beginning. So I guess
just
I should
to interrupt,
step back
because the
and
SEC
say,
is now, let me just interrupt, James, and tell, because now the SEC has filed civil charges against Bankman-Fried as well as of Tuesday, accusing him of misleading investors and committing nearly $2 billion worth of fraud on their customers. So you got the civil action by the SEC, and you've got the criminal action by the federal prosecutors. Sorry, keep going.
Right. And the commodities regulator, the CFTC, as well, filed yesterday. So it's typical for these things to be choreographed, that an indictment is unsealed at the same time that these government regulators bring their civil actions. But it's quite clear from all of the complaints combined and from the testimony of John J. Ray yesterday before the House Financial Services Committee that they're all saying this started at the beginning. And the beginning was 2019 when they started up this FTX International exchange that exempting Alameda from the rules around margin positions started early, and that customer funds were used to back Alameda bets from the very beginning. So that was a little bit surprising. It's now cannot be just attributed to wow, we've got a crypto winter here. Markets went against FTX and they scrambled and did a couple things they shouldn't do. It sounds like this was the business plan.
My God. I mean, just think about it. The number of people who got pulled into this and the number of celebrities who lent their names to this. I saw an interview he gave in which he seemed to be, I can't remember whether, I think it was the Stephanopoulos one, where he tried to wiggle on whether he did have the right to use FTX customer funds to cover Alameda losses, to fund those monies over to another company, which we were told is a clear no-no in this type of business. And he seemed to be trying to wiggle, kind of saying, well, there were some agreements by customers. He was not ceding the point that it would be prima facie illegal for him to take money invested on his currency exchange, FTX, and use it to cover Alameda losses, his hedge fund. Is that going to be possible for him to argue? But my understanding was it's in writing as the policy on the FTX exchange that they will not use that money for other purposes and that money cannot be moved around.
Yeah, it's absolutely in writing, Megyn, and clear writing, not confusing, not small type, very clear. The assets that FTX customers deposit on the exchange are their assets, and explicitly says that FTX cannot use those assets itself, cannot exercise dominion over the assets, and sure as heck can't give them to an affiliated hedge fund to let them, bet enormous amounts of money on margin. It's very clear that was a violation. And not only that, maybe we'll see a defense of, hey, you know what, you got me. It's a breach of contract. So in essence, sue me. Well, it doesn't work that way. If you receive money from someone and you're going to use it in a way that it differs from the agreement, that is fraud. And so I think the case, the wire fraud case and the rest of it appears to be quite strong by what was unsealed yesterday in the Southern District of New York. So I don't think that tactic's going to work. But I'll tell you what, this is a very, very smart man. And he stuck to his script in many, many hours of interviews on Twitter and with Andrew Ross Sorkin and George Stephanopoulos and Forbes and the Wall Street Journal and others. He sticks to his script. And that script is this: I'm really sorry. I should have paid closer attention to what was going on there at FTX. And boy, if I ever had it to do over again, I certainly would have dug in deeper to learn the facts about the margin position that my own hedge fund had on my own exchange. But unfortunately, I was paying attention to other things.
Bond Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. I love this company. They've really helped me. I have dry eye and I wear their glasses when I watch the computer screen. I've really noticed a difference. Founded on science, inspired by nature, all Bond Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern day world. From blue light glasses to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bond Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly. Their glasses come in non-prescription and prescription and reading options as well. Bond Charge also has other amazing products like low blue light bulbs, red light therapy devices, EMF 5G protection, and 100% blackout sleep masks, all backed by science. Highly recommend the sleep masks too. They can ship worldwide in rapid time, and most importantly, they have easy returns and exchanges. Go to bondcharge.com, BONCHARGE.com/MK. Use that coupon code MK, and that will save you 20% off your order. Bondcharge.com/MK. Use that coupon code MK to save yourself 20%. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.